Hello everybody, it's Non-Scene News here, and today we don't have too much news today, so it's probably going to be a shorter video than usual, but let's just get straight into it. So we've got some news coming from Russia and Azerbaijan, that Azerbaijan has just demanded that Russia acknowledges responsibility and punish those guilty and pay compensation regarding the Azerbaijan airline plane crash, the Azerbaijan president stated. So if you haven't been keeping updated with the past couple of videos, we had news that an Azerbaijan airline crashed in Kazakhstan due to a Russian anti-air missile hitting it. So Russia has not officially acknowledged that it did shoot down this Azerbaijan airline, but Azerbaijan is keen that it was Russia that did it, and now now Azerbaijan is now demanding that Moscow acknowledges responsibility and punish those guilty of shooting down the plane and pay compensation. So very big news. We've got news that Putin actually apologizes for the tragic incident involving an Azerbaijani plane in Russian airspace, offering condolences to victims and families. So the Kremlin does actually confirm that the air defense units was active during the plane flying over Chechnya due to a Ukrainian drone attack over Chechnya, Grozny exactly. But the Kremlin doesn't actually take a responsibility for this plane crash, but in the end, the crash in Kazakhstan did kill 38 passengers, and among them was Russians and Azerbaijanis and more ethnicities. So very interesting and sad news coming from there. We've gotten some news coming from the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov of Russia that Russia won't accept Trump's proposal to delay Ukraine's membership in NATO for 20 years or the presence of peacekeepers in Ukraine. Now let's go to Poland, where we've gotten a lot of interesting news today. So, Poland plans to strengthen and close the borders with Belarus. So, Poland aims to complete the construction of a border wall by the summer of 2025 to stop the flow of migrants, which Poland describes as a hybrid war by Russia. So, the government plans to install night vision cameras and thermal sensors, as well as build a new road for border patrols. According to the Minister for Migration, the Polish Minister of Migration, once the construction is finished, the security of the border will be closed to 100% as much as possible, said the Deputy Minister for Migration. So Poland has also appealed to the EU partners for financial support as part of its separate military project called the Eastern Shield. And in the late 2021, Poland began building the border wall during a period when Belarus allegedly created conditions for a mass arrival of migrants from the Middle East and Africa into Poland and neighbouring Baltic countries. So Poland plans to strengthen and close the border with Belarus. We've also got news today that Poland is to help Ukraine if Slovakia cuts off power in gas spat. So Poland assures Ukraine amid an escalating row over the future of gas transit through Ukraine. Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert Fico made some threats 2 days ago when he said Slovakia would stop supplying electricity to Ukraine if Russian gas is stopped to the country of Slovakia due to Ukraine shutting the Russian gas through its territory. We've also got news that Poland has just announced plans to build a huge road to the border of Kaliningrad, a Russian region here. So this will enable a rapid transfer of Polish troops and security forces if necessary, the Polish Deputy Minister has stated. So there's apparently going to be a huge road connecting Poland and Kaliningrad in the near future, which apparently, according to the deputy minister of Poland, this will allow a faster response of the Polish army and security forces to the Russian border. So Russia's foreign affairs spokeswoman stated that she wonders if the Polish government is drunk. So that is her response to this this announcement by Poland. We've got some news coming from Ukraine of the result of the 2024 on the map. So in 2024, Russia seized an area equal to 3 squares of Kiev. So the year 2024 was diverse. Ukraine was pretty much successful in its Kursk offensive, but Russia managed to occupy 2,800 square kilometers. So this is the overall advancements in 2024. So obviously Russia has made a significant amount of progress regarding its push in the Donbass, but obviously you can't deny the fact that the Ukrainian offensive into Russia was a success. It was a success. It was a huge media victory for Ukraine, and it gave more Western countries the motivation to send more aid packages. So there you go. We've also just got a news a couple of hours ago today that Biden has just announced nearly a $2.5 billion in US security aid for Ukraine, including artillery shells, missiles, and armored vehicles to strengthen Ukraine ahead of the winter. So this might be the last aid package that the US can do to Ukraine. So this is probably the main. And this is probably the last main aid package that the US does to Ukraine before, obviously, Donald Trump takes the White House. So we probably won't expect any more large-scale aid packages from the US ever. So there you go. We've also got news that Ukraine has received over 150 million euros from Denmark, France, and Lithuania to support its defense industry, reports the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine. The funds will go towards producing missiles, drones, and artillery systems. And that's all the news we've gotten from Ukraine today. We've got some news coming from Belgium. That's Belgium will ban sales of disposable e-cigarettes in a first for the EU. So Belgium is the first country in the EU that will ban e-cigarettes. We've also got news today that Croatia. In Croatia, Zoran Milicevic, the president of Croatia, has won the presidential elections. He is noted for his consistent criticism of arms supplies and spending money on Ukraine. He is considered to be close in views to Viktor Orban, the Prime Minister of Hungary, and Robert Fico, the Prime Minister of Slovakia. So Zoran Milanovic has won the presidential elections in Croatia. And the next news today is coming from Georgia, where news that the Georgian President Salome Zabishvili has left her post after today's inauguration of the Russian footballer Mikhail Kashvili, who was elected president by the Georgian Dream Party in the uncontested elections on December the 14th. So the Georgian Dream Party, which is seen as a pro-Russian government to a lot of nations around the world, has won the presidential elections in Georgia and the parliament in Georgia. So according to the EU's perspective, the Georgian Dream Party is a pro-Russian party which is now in control of all of Georgia. So very interesting news. So the so-called alleged pro-Russian president of Georgia has just now made his inauguration in Georgia, and he's now the president of Georgia. And the new president of Georgia, Mikhail Kashvili, has just signed a law on banning masks at rallies on the day of his inauguration. The law will be published on the portal of the Legislative Herald of Georgia. And the next news today is coming from Syria, where we've got news that the Syrian leader Ahmad al-Shara, so the HTS rebel leader who took control of Syria, has stated that Iran must respect Syria's sovereignty and that we want relations with Iran that respect Syria's international affairs, and Iran must reconsider its interventions into Syria. We've also got news today that the official Ukrainian delegation has arrived in Damascus, Syria, to meet the new Syrian leader. So the delegation was led by Andriy, Ukraine's foreign minister, and met with new Syrian leader Ahmad al-Shara. So there you go. So they'll probably be discussing much about the economy, because Syria does get now a bit of its wheat from Ukraine. So a lot of economy talks will be taking place in Damascus between Ukraine and Syria. We've also got news today that the Syrian pilots who swore allegiance to the new government of Syria have begun flying Ka-28 and Mi helicopters of the former Syrian army. So we've received a lot of videos now coming in of new pilots who are now training with the new Syrian army and now trying to fly Ka-28 and Mi-8 helicopters of the former Syrian army. So we've actually gotten a lot of videos of most of these pilots actually learning how to fly these helicopters on YouTube. So there you go. It's a very interesting thing, but it seems to be working. They are now flying, and we've gotten reports that Syrian helicopters are now patrolling the coast of Syria. So it seems that they are making some progress. We've also gotten some news today. Today that we've gotten some photos that have been released of northern Syria. That Turkish shelling is happening now on the Kurdish front here. So Turkey is now actively shelling the Kurdish forces in northern Syria, and the president of Turkey, Erdogan, has actually demanded, and the Syrian rebel leader has demanded, that the northern Kurdish forces in northern Syria should put down their arms and rejoin Syria as a whole nation. So I'll keep you updated on that if anything else happens there. But we've got news that Turkish artillery forces are now actively shooting at near the border, in Syria. So I'll keep you updated on that. We've also gotten some more news coming from the Afghanistan and Pakistan conflict that is happening now. So the Taliban now claims that it controls Pakistan's military outposts in Bajar. So I'll just really quickly just put that in. So the Taliban fighters have reportedly taken over Pakistani army posts in the Saljar, Talsia, and the Bajar tribal districts. So unverified videos are circulating online that shows the Taliban forces raising their flags atop military installations. So apparently, according to the latest news we've gotten, is that Afghanistan is now actively conducting some local military operations into Pakistan, in the border of Pakistan, taking over maybe military border crossings. So very interesting news. We also had news yesterday that the Taliban army seems to be mobilizing on the Pakistani border. So a conflict is brewing on this side of the world between Afghanistan and Pakistan, and I'll, as always, keep you updated on that. We've also got some news today coming from China, that China has just greenlighted a massive hydropower project in Tibet, which is expected to produce energy outputs 3 times greater than that of the 3 George dams. According to a Wednesday report from the state news agency of Xinhua, the project is totaling an investment could surpass approximately $137 billion. We've also got some North Korean news come today, that North Korea has just raised the maximum age for enlistment in the military in North Korea from the age of 23 to 25. We've also got news of the first photos of North Korea's newest frigate under construction. So the images suggest that this new North Korean ship will feature a vertical launch system of the VLS for cruise and surface-to-air missiles. So this frigate could become the first guided missile frigate in the North Korea's navy. So this huge new North Korean ship is has been unveiled in recent photos in North Korea. And the next news we've gotten today is coming from South Korea, that the Joint Investigation Team has requested an arrest warrant against the impeached president of South Korea, Yoon Suk-yeol, on charges of an abuse of power. for him having refused multiple summons to answer questions related to his recent martial law declaration. So there's going to be an active criminal investigation to the former president of South Korea due to his martial law. So he has been impeached. So I'll keep you updated if anything is found on him. And the last news coming from the world today is coming from America. That's the former US President Jimmy Carter has died at the age of 100. So very, very interesting news coming today. So that's all the news I actually have for you today. It's been a bit of a short video today, but I am Noncy News. I'll try and provide you news that medias around the world do not show you. I do these videos hopefully daily, so consider subscribing and liking. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye.